It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Commanders and the Eagles. All that and more coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback. But last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players. Thrown for 38 touchdowns his last 2 seasons and run for another 23.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And here are the key inactives for them in this one. And obviously, Charles, are going to be without some important names this week.
Well, hopefully those guys will be on the sidelines encouraging the guys who are going out there and helping them when they come off the sidelines during the game by giving them some tips on what they see and what they've experienced. That's true teamwork. And if you want to get to the playoffs, if you want to have a big push, you have to have that on your squad.
The Eagles hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they've got to be pleased with the start of this season, obviously.
Yeah, and you're talking about 3 good quality wins. It's got people in the locker room excited, not overly so, but that quiet confidence is starting to build. They're starting to believe that this could be their year if they stay on track.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there, just 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Commanders set to go to work on offense, and they've handed the controls to this man in his second NFL season, former Tar Heel Sam Howell.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
On first down, Howell. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards there at a Washington first. Let's see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got
taking it right down Broadway. Still going inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Hey, check. Hey, kill.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has a little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. That'll give him 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Chris Watkins
Well, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Howell and the Commanders come up now 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Howell's throw taken in by Pringle.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Back to throw, Howell. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson.
Oh, what a move. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2.
As they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Howell down to throw it. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Howell, he'll look to throw it.
Got an open man, it's Pringle. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. It's Howell with another throw.
And this is going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
2nd down, here's Hurts.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Well, they gave themselves options there on the third down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
But first down, Hurts. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hurts.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. It'll wind up being a gain of 5 there on 4th and 2.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
They go play action with Hurts. He'll get that complete to Alberto.
A big play there for Philly. 42 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself not just so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that in the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Second down throw for Howell.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Throwing is Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Good job there getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback.
Touchdown, Eagles! Albert O, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Foul to the air on 1st and 10. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. 3rd and 2, here's Howell. Getting this into the hands of Turner. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Howell throwing on 1st down here. Turner is there for another one. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. The Dolphins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Russell Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And that one all tied. The Eagles got a solid first half from last year's MVP runner-up, Jalen Hurts. He connected on 3 touchdown passes in those first 2 quarters, as his guys have built up a sizable lead here at the break.
Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second down, Howell now. Short throw here, the tight end Bates.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Howell's throw into the hands of Turner.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deep.
And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here.
It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
He's known for his legs and his fancy footwork, but he's not getting much of a chance to use it here. The defense continued to hold the upper hand by bringing him down on that play.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Here's Howell to throw on second down. This one left side caught by Gibson.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. Well, we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them. But they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too. The scoreboard tells a story for them, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. But that is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Philly. And even 40 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top.
Touchdown! DeAndre Swift from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are able to stretch out their lead. The partner, he has carried them in this ball game, throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
The Washington offense set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second and a couple.
They go play action with Howell.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Another throw for Howell. Throw out wide is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Second down, Howell back to pass.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. Brandon Graham applying the heat off the edge. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Fourth down, Howell, desperation time.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
From the gun, it's Hurts. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Second and goal from the 1. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only second down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up third down.
Penny. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on.
He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Now 1st and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their 25-yard line. Hal now to throw it. That one downfield for Dotson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Second and 10, Howell. That's out to the flat for Gibson. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing here, Howell. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And he's gonna miss this one wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and they will remain well behind. So make it 2 missed field goals for him now, but I have the sense, given that distance, you could probably forgive him here on this one.
Yeah, this is out of the range of just about anybody on planet Earth except probably you, partner. But you just got to drive it out low and hope that somehow you hit it absolutely perfect. But no real chance for this one to go through.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Cody Barton there to bring him down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they can't bring him down. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Sly on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Eagles to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So from the 26-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Hurts. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Shoves him aside. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 40 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately,
The second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he's taken down inside the 30. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Back to throw, Howell. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Howell. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Howell looking to throw again. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Philadelphia, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.